Well, I think in the belief, like when you're not making money is what keeps you going, right?
Oh yeah, when you make money.
Otherwise, you just give up.
Yeah. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Warriors Mindset Podcast, where the sayings, riddles, and blunders of the wise are coming at you as I discuss this with two of my business partners. What is up, Mitch?
What's going on, everybody?
It's so nice to see you, man. Be back in the chairs.
Finally, man.
Love it. It's just been so sporadic lately.
Starting to get back in the rhythm.
However, we have been consistent posting. So make sure you follow us, Warriors Mindset. And I got Big Daddy Patty here, Patrick Pa.
What up? What up?
You are my son and chief operating officer.
That's right.
What's that like?
Sometimes it's real easy. Sometimes it's real tough.
You know, yesterday...
But it's always fun.
It's real easy, real tough.
Always fun.
Well, yesterday we were hanging out watching the inauguration, and I went to talk even sports cards. You were like, wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, I was not. We'll have fun today.
Yeah.
Go back tomorrow.
Well, it's hard to it's what our life is, and so it's hard to, as entrepreneurs, to separate it, man.
Well, I think I'm always thinking about it, at least 98% of the time. And sometimes you just, all right. But we did have fun with sports cards, so we were still, doing some business.
I want to, what's the 2 things or 2% that you're doing when you don't think about the companies? So today is our realistic entrepreneurship episode because we are entrepreneurs. We own and operate a company called Warriors Management that owns and operates other companies, and we are mainly in the hospitality business. Hospitality and entertainment. We have Jets Pizzas, the best pizzas. Dude, Jets is so fucking good.
So
It
good.
is.
Dude, listen, I went and I watched the Lions get their ass kicked the other night, but I enjoyed the wings and the pizza.
It is
Oh
good.
my gosh. Like a deep dish, 4-corner.
It's better because it has to be.
Dude, it's better
So
because
good.
it has to be. And you know what I did? I don't eat pizza a lot. Less than once a week.
We used to, though.
Every day. That's how I got fat.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That's how I got fat. But I 2 times a month probably on average, but when I do, I do. I'll eat the whole fucking pizza. I'll just because it's good, right? But the other day I got all the sauces. I got the ranch. I got the pizza sauce, Mama Jets, and I got the butter garlic. And then sometimes I'll dip it in the 2 at once. You ever do that?
Oh, yeah, the double dip.
Have you ever mixed them all together?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well, I never did it on purpose.
garlic,
They were
ranch,
just
and
all
pizza.
on the plate.
I've never violated a
They were
pizza
just
like this.
Usually it's the ranch cup that ends up like the trio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you do one and then the other.
Yeah, the ranch is always in the middle. So you have the pizza sauce first. So I always go to the pizza sauce, right? First. If I dip right in the pizza sauce. Actually, I take a bite without nothing. First.
You just gotta
the
make sure
bread
the-
or the pizza. I take a bite without nothing. Because I gotta test our product, right? And then I start with the pizza sauce first. Just it's extra sauce because usually there's sauce on the pizza.
You got to make sure the sauce
Then
is
you
good,
move over, and then I always do the crust with the fucking butter garlic. Oh,
Yeah, it's so
pizza. So, wow. I'm sitting here thinking about eating pizza. We own another restaurant called the Grateful Crow. It's a burger and sushi bar. It's the best fucking restaurant in Michigan. Come on over, Chelsea, Michigan. It's real good,
Dude.
So we do all that.
You know what's funny? I was watching some reel or something the other day, yesterday actually, and this dude was like, "I'm on an all burger diet."
Oh, hell yeah.
He's like, "I'm trying to lose 7 pounds," and I was like, he was going through his diet, and he started with a freaking protein shake and some other crap, and I was like, "That's not an all burger diet." I said, "You want me to show you an all burger diet?"
I've been on that before.
I'll start an all burger diet, and I'll show you all my burgers I ate at the Grateful Crow, bro.
Yeah.
I eat probably 2 pounds of beef at the Grateful Crow
Dude.
daily.
So good. So good. So good.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, so we do that, and we have other things, and like we sell sports cards and stuff, but So this is like what you hear from us is kind of like real time. Like this is what we're doing. We're entrepreneurs. We're running our companies every day, thinking about it all the time. Never know. Like someone says, "Do you never not work?" And I say, sometimes I go, "Well, when I'm sleeping, but I dream about it." But if my phone is not getting a text or a phone call, then and I'm driving, then usually I'm not working.
Yeah. The driving time's nice, peaceful.
It
when,
is.
when you're not getting calls.
It is. So we hope that you can learn something from realistic entrepreneurship because I think that we're real entrepreneurs. But today's subject is about how to like talk to investors or asking for support when working with investors. And I would say that it's probably it's super tough when you're young. It's super tough, like when you need money and like, you're young.
I mean, it makes sense because nobody really likes asking for help. I mean, I guess I definitely don't like asking for help. I'm like, nah, I got it. I'm good,
Yeah.
So especially when it comes to money, a lot of people are very insecure about that topic.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't want to talk about it or whatever. But sometimes you need it to push your business forward.
Well, and if you believe in your cause, it's easier to ask, right?
True.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't exactly know which way this is going to go because I want to just see what you guys say because you've heard me, but you guys haven't ever had to ask anybody for money. Or you did.
Yeah, I have before.
Oh, you have?
I have.
Oh, okay. So you have. So we got 3 people that have relied on investors outside of our company, you would say, right? Right? All right. Well, this is good. And I think you just said it then. You have to believe in it, right?
Yeah, because people can sniff out bullshit pretty quickly, most of them. So, you can't, I mean, you got to believe in it's much, when you believe it's easier to go for it because you're like, all right, I'm doing this. If you're like, oh, I need money for whatever,
Yeah. Well, belief is one thing that you need to be an entrepreneur. Otherwise, you should just get a job.
I mean, and with that comes you need confidence, right?
Yeah.
If you go to your investor and you're like, oh yeah, it'd be nice. I'm not really sure. Like you need to be very sure. You need to be confident in yourself and in your venture.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be going in questioning yourself.
Yeah, I agree. Confidence, and I like how you use the word very. You got to be very sure, because you still left room for like not being sure on some things,
Right.
because you're probably not going to be sure on a lot of things.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, how could you ever be?
Yeah. So confidence. Yeah, you have to be confident, and then you have to be open in your mind. Like we always say, be a student, but you have to be open, because if you're needing, let's say you need $50,000, right? The person that is probably going to loan you or invest $50,000 in you probably, since they have that 50,000, have a certain intellect that you may not have, a certain experience that you may not have, right? So you have to be open, because you may get something different than what you're looking for. Right?
That's truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they're investing their money, then they probably are going to want input, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's their hard-earned money,
and
too.
you have to be open to their input, or else they're going to be like, why am I helping you?
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't you want input on something you're putting your money into?
Some
Right.
people don't. I've seen restaurants fail when I've tried to give them input, but they didn't take it. It wasn't even money. I would have with one, but we would have. We were talking about it. But anyway, okay, so belief in your product
Yep.
and confidence in yourself, actually.
Yeah.
And then 3, being open to information that's not, you may not know, or may seem bonkers to you. I remember like the first like real meeting that I had with my first real investor, like business mentor. he said, go take an accounting class. And I was like, what the fuck I need to do that for?
Now
Gotta
you
know the
now
money,
you
man.
encourage people to do it.
Now I tell everybody, go take an accounting class.
So you took an accounting class?
Well, no, I had Brighton take an accounting class. And so I just call her.
Yeah.
And I was able to learn. But actually, that was where I failed, is I didn't listen. I should have went there immediately. Like, I should have fucking been at Washtenaw County College, the community college. Let me in. And he even said, do it in class, like do it in person.
Yeah.
So this was like 2014.
It's tough, man, going in person, especially with our schedules. It's like,
Well, this was like, yeah,
damn, bro.
yeah. So that's interesting. But I'd say probably the biggest, I think, yes, belief in your product. Like if I didn't have Jets Pizza and didn't believe in it, like that's why I didn't go to Little Caesars or somewhere else.
Yeah, because there were people
Didn't want those
there
kit
were people
pizzas.
wanting you to open those franchises, right?
Any of them. I could have done any of them with the experience that I had, but I was like, I couldn't do it. But this was after I'd already been at a Jets Pizza for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
And I already got it. And it was like, I got to do Jets. And plus, it's just unbelievable company.
It is.
Well, like just that story alone was good for an investor. I could have done this or that, but I chose this. When I could have made more money,
Faster,
elsewhere.
probably.
Yeah. Belief, confidence. And I would say, like, as I was thinking about this episode, I would say for me, another important thing on top of that, which could actually be better than belief or confidence, and that is the people that you have doing it with you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, you want to hire or work with or partner with the right people. So for me, I'd say that is like super important, unless you're like, it's like you're a chess player and like whatever. But like if you have an organization, your company, then it's the people.
Absolutely. I
You
mean,
know?
and it's not necessarily people who think exactly like you, but are like-minded in the sense of they have the same end goal,
Yeah. Well,
or
and-
at least similar end goals.
Yeah,
right?
it's like, does these people, okay, so we're going to say I'm talking to an investor and I have 2 guys that work with me. It's Mitch Lilly and Patrick Pav. Okay. So I'm talking about you guys, right? And it's like, here's the qualities that they have that I don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
you need that.
To a certain extent. So they're going to say, okay, this guy might not know accounting. You know what I mean? But he knows sales, but he has this person who knows accounting.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So I would say more than the other things, because it's hard to have belief in something when you're not making any fucking money.
That is
you
true.
can. I mean, that's where it starts, dream, belief and stuff. But then once you get to it, it's like, passion, we talked about passion. It only takes you so far.
Well, I think in the belief, like when you're not making money is what keeps you going, right?
Oh yeah, when you make money.
Otherwise you just give up.
Yeah. So I want to do something a little different here, okay? And so when I talk about the people that I surround me, we often talk, your COO, your VP, and you do A, B, C, and D. Patrick, you do A, B, C, and D.
Yep.
And it's like within the company, right? And I would say now that we're pretty far along working together, obviously, for many years, like what you guys did was make yourself valuable. Okay, so this is important to the entrepreneurs. You got to make yourself valuable. You can't just wait for someone to teach you or train you. You have to kind of be aggressive. So let's say over the last 5 years, Mitch, okay, because that was when we did a reboot with you after traveling the world, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me all the things that and I want you to get real bent on yourself here. I want you to be like
Egotistical about it.
yeah, I want you to be egotistical about it. What talents do you have and that you bring to the company as of today? Okay. And which ones, let's start there.
Okay, well, I basically have the ability to do just about anything in the company. But I go a little deeper than most. So, yeah, I can deliver pizzas, top pizzas, cut pizzas, whatever at Jets. I can, I've served at Jets in the dining room.
So you were a waitress.
I was a waitress, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in, when I first started. I've been a host over there. I've been a host over at the Grateful Crow. I've helped you guys organize the comic shop. I set up the stage throughout the entire summers for Sounds and Sights. I help with all the audio stuff at an IQ Audio. The Grateful Crow, I've been a manager, like a little intern manager or whatever at some points. I was a sushi chef for 8 months over there, and I would say I'm a pretty damn good one too. I know a lot of the details, the intricate details of the kitchen at the Grateful Crow. I take care of all of the maintenance needs for all of the companies, for all of the buildings, which is, sometimes it's a lot. Sometimes we have a lot going on in that realm. And sometimes when, now it's kind of starting to cool off because I have a handle on everything that has been, when I first came in, I'm like, who was doing this before me? Like, everything's a mess. So now I'm kind of cleaning up previous messes.
Wow.
Getting
There was
things
no one, by the way.
getting things in order and developing a system for maintenance. That way we can more easily monitor and maintain things.
Yeah.
So yeah, on top of that, the food truck, pulling the food truck around, rolling sushi burritos, like there's a lot, man. There's a lot.
Yeah. Did you even mention bar backing or bartending?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I don't think so.
I was recently bartending when we had a personnel switch. So for the past month, I've been bartending twice a week, and it's crazy. My schedule is a little chaotic, but it's fun.
Yeah, and one reason Mitch is sitting in this chair is because he was like, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck it takes. And what it took is multiple things through the years, and now you've compounded like an awesome resume. Well,
Shit. I mean, at one point I replaced the floors in a store we sold, working midnights for, probably a few weeks, replacing the entire floors.
Yeah.
Like I had to rip the subfloors up basically all by myself.
Yeah.
I remember having notes on the dumpster in the morning. Stop filling the dumpster. And I'm like, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so now here we are. That's all awesome. Where do you think that you could improve? Where do you want to improve? Like, what do you not just like, yeah, you can talk about anything personally, but like in regards to learning with the company and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, I want to further develop our system regarding to maintenance specifically. That way it's a little more organized and more detailed. And I'm talking physically organized and mentally, like, just our preventative maintenance, all that kind of stuff, getting all of our model and serial numbers in order. That way, if parts go down, we can easily obtain that stuff and order it. And, one thing that I've been working on, I think just before the new year, I bought the online course for my builder's license, so that in the future, if we have any future endeavors for building out restaurants or whatnot, I can be the general contractor for that build out. That way we don't have to go third party, and we can do it in house to save some money and save some headache.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a 60-hour builder's license course right now, and I try to do 10 hours a week of schooling. Basically, it's online school, taking notes and everything. That way I can be more beneficial to that aspect of the company in terms of growth.
Yeah, that's awesome. Pat, what about you? What do you do in the company? Where are you at?
Well, it's funny. I think you kind of mentioned it a second ago. When people ask me, whether in the company or people I meet, because it's a common thing with in our culture, I guess, like, what do you do? Like, what's your job, your career, whatever, right? And I have separate thoughts. We can talk about that in another topic. But people ask me, and depending on who it is, I go into different realms. But to answer this question, I pretty much do whatever needs to be done is the very short version. Like, if pizzas need to be made, then I do that. If pizzas need to be delivered, I do that. If sushi needs to be rolled, I do that. The bar, I've done a few shifts there lately as well. Flip burgers. I do all the intake and delivery for our catering company that we have. I book the food truck. I sell sports cards, comics. We go to out of town events. I do that. What else? I'm on the board of our nonprofit. And so it's like,
well, you're on the committee to our marketing team, right?
I'm on the marketing committee. I sit here and do our podcast.
Oh, that we do.
Forgot to mention podcast.
Oh, we kind of talked about it. That's what we're here, but I mean, pretty much whatever needs to be done. And first and foremost, yes, the execution of the operations, because that's my official title. But honestly, like, I pride myself most in my leadership qualities, especially with people who are still trying to grow as a leader.
Yeah.
Like, we had someone the other day, one of the rising leaders pulled me aside and said, "Hey, can we sit down soon? I want to know what your thought process is on how you approach different situations." He said, "I really respect how you approach things and how you deal with people, and I'd like to learn and, adopt some of those philosophies." So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, whatever needs to be done.
Okay. Interesting. So where in your job moving forward in the future, what do you want to improve?
I think keeping myself straight with all of those responsibilities, like, in any given week, I could do all of those things that I just mentioned. Sometimes in a single day, I do burgers, I seat the door, I clean tables, and then maybe at night I'm selling sports cards at our shop, and various other things, and booking catering at the same time. So just keeping myself straight with all of those so I can execute at the highest level possible, along with improving myself in my personal life and my family and all that.
But okay, but what about the company? What do you want to improve for the company?
Improve with the company. I would say we execute at a high level most of the time, but making it as close to 100 as possible, which will result in more money for everyone and a better experience for our guests.
Okay. It's funny, the two different answers that you guys give that were in two different realms, but both important. Well, I mean, without them, you can't be an entrepreneur.
Well, and that's why you surround yourself with different minded people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, obviously our answers are much different, and that's kind of the reason why I brought up that analogy is that, he's more of an operator, or he's more of like the intel, and I'm the operator.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I brought up things that are like more physical,
yes.
right? And I work more in the physical realm, where he more so works in the mental realm.
Yes.
But
that's what I was.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But occasionally,
that's what I saw too. And I did not know how to even, I was like, how do I respond?
And obviously he occasionally works in the physical realm.
Of course.
But I'm more so in the physical realm. I'm like, woo, get it, attack.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I mean, because ultimately you're saying system, it'll work better. And if you're saying if you can get a grasp on all your responsibilities in a stronger way, it runs better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was really interesting. So, yeah, I mean, listen, belief, confidence, but it's the people that you're actually in the trenches with. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it matters. And like for me, like, and you guys have obviously been around a long time. You're students. You're always learning, and like you're on this podcast on the regular. So it's like you're already kind of in that personal growth mindset, but you need to be aware of your people. Like if Mitch would have said, well, I realized I'm an alcoholic because I go home every night and drink a fifth of Jack Daniels.
Oh, Jack Daniels.
Then that tells me something. Do you think I can tell an investor that?
No, that would not be good.
Probably shouldn't.
You know what I mean? So, but the reality is you have to have the guts to ask. And I don't like using the word help, but sometimes it's good to bring in someone that can only invest money, but can invest wisdom and time in you. Because for me, it's not about the money. Money was great. We wouldn't have gotten here if it wasn't for the money. But the mentorship was worth way more.
Well, and we kind of mentioned it earlier, but you want people farther down the road, right? Because they've learned, and this goes with like reading books or listening to podcasts or whatever, like you want to learn from people who have already made those mistakes. Otherwise, you might need 10 years to learn every mistake that you can learn from these people who have already made them,
Yeah.
Well, and you mentioned mentorship, and right now we're talking about asking for money from investors, but just another way of investing is someone who's further along than you. You can go and ask them to invest their time in you, and mentor you, and that's another way to ask an investor.
If it's both, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have many mentors in my life, and if some things maybe like even this podcast, I see Jim as kind of a spiritual mentor. I see you as a business mentor. I see my dad as just a life mentor in general. And, he's
Did he talk to you about the birds and the bees before you got married?
Oh, they talked to me about the birds and the bees long before I got married.
Oh.
But yeah, you're right. And that goes for, this is a good something for, our team. And this is the main reason why we do this. Like, I mentioned someone asking me, but people have asked you, right? Hey, can I get your advice or your feedback or sit down, right? People are always asking you to sit down and learn and this or that. Like
high responsibility, man.
It's a high responsibility.
And it's in different realms, Yours is about leadership a lot of the times. Mine's about fitness a lot of the times. Yours is about business a lot of the times. It's like we all have the different realms that we're best at, that we operate best in. And I'm the jack of all trades, they say.
No, multi-tool
jack of all trades. I don't know if I like being called a tool, but
if it's in a good way.
Swiss Army knife. I like Army knives, I guess. It's a better way. You're not calling me a tool bag.
No, I think that I think whoever started that should be cast to the pit of hell. Like tool in my toolbox, big deal. I can be a tool in your toolbox. You need me,
Yeah.
You need Tony Soprano. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good for today. We're going to come back, and I think we're going to talk more about how to talk, to investors, and as we're still learning, right?
Absolutely.
It's fun though.
Yeah, that was
constantly learning, constantly evolving.
Yeah. You got to love what you do, though. So from all of us here at Warriors Management, this is the Warriors Mindset Podcast. See you next time. Peace.